guys, Patriot Picker here. My name is Chris. We are down in the eBay bunker, and what a crazy 3 days it has been. The whole country has been under some sort of winter weather phenomenon. Even states probably that have never experienced cold weather down in the South are even getting cold weather. But here in Central Virginia, you've seen on my videos how I always talk about how we love snow. We don't get a whole lot of snow here in Central Virginia each winter. So when we do, we love it. Some folks hate it with a passion, but we love it. And so it snowed, and then we had a few days where that snow was on the ground. And then all of a sudden, there was an ice storm, and the ice storm messed things up for us. It downed power lines, down trees, down power lines, down the internet. So we were dead in the water when it came to reselling. We had to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And you might be saying, well, Chris, why didn't you just go stay with a friend? Well, there's reasons for that, and I won't get into those, but let's just say that it is nice that hotels actually are around, and they tend to have power when a lot of other folks don't. I live out in the sticks, and I'm surrounded by the woods, and so the trees fall on the lines when they get weighted down and storms come through. So anyway, we had a rough 3 days going, and then we had that holiday, as you know, President's Day, and the post office was closed, and so that has delayed some of my shipping times as well. But I just wanted to kind of give that intro to let you know maybe you're in the same boat. Maybe you are still in the same boat as we speak. I've got friends in Texas, and they're experiencing some wicked, crazy winter weather that's almost historic, probably to say the least. But anyway, we are going to talk about some things here that have sold. The sales for February started off kind of, I guess you could say, it started off if you were kind of driving in your car. You're just smoothly driving along on a flat surface, and you're going the speed limit. Everything's going good, and you're kind of in that cruising mode, right? Cruise control. Then all of a sudden, you begin to descend and, on this roller coaster ride of eBay. And then all of a sudden, you come back up. And anyway, I don't need to say any more. You know how the story goes. It's almost predictable that if you are a reseller, and this is something I think is very important to say, that maybe a lot of new people getting into reselling do not know. They see all the success of the reselling community, and they get all excited because when you first started, I first started, remember the excitement. Remember how you just, were just like, what? This world exists? And you just couldn't believe that you could actually make profit doing this, right? Well, after you've been in it a while, you begin to see the reality of it, okay? And so here's a little thing for somebody who might be watching me today thinking about getting into reselling. Here's a little tip. When you decide to do it, and you pull the trigger for the first time and you list that first item on eBay, do not set your expectations too high. It's going to take some time to invest in this either hobby or part-time job or full-time job. It's going to take time. None of us who have been in it over a year at least, none of us just exploded overnight, okay? So understand that even those who've been in it for years have the roller coaster ride as well. I think of other big time resellers that have big YouTube channels and have great followings. They as well, if you watch their videos and pay attention, you'll see. Now, they don't always want to deliver the honest, brute truth at times. They sort of kind of dance around a little bit. But the truth is that you're going to have days where you're not going to have any sales. You're going to have days where you have 1 or 2 sales. Then you're going to have days where you have like 20 sales. At the end of a month, go back and look at the average of the month. Don't focus on the day. Look at the average and look at the average price of profit. And that, my friend, is what motivates you. Because to my left, I can see my board where I keep track of my profit and sales. And that roller coaster ride is coming back up now. And so sales have really increased. As you see today, when we go over what sold, you'll be able to see a lot of things have sold. But here's the thing. A lot of these sales I'm looking at over here are $50, $60, $70, $80, $90 sales. So in the long run, at the end of the month, that's going to help you average out the days that you hardly have any sales. Now, I'm not repeating anything that you don't already know. It's the world of retail and the world of uncertainty and the world of craziness that we live in. The economy is a roller coaster as well. Political maneuvering and decision making has bearing on the economy, and we just went through a political transition, and so therefore there's a lot of uncertainty going on. And so people out there who are wanting to buy something from you on eBay, maybe they're a little bit more cautious now. Maybe they're a little bit more hesitant to pull that trigger and buy something right now and pay whatever it is you're asking. Okay? So let's get into some things that have sold. Now, as we go through, you're gonna see some trends. If you follow me on YouTube, you're gonna see some trends here that keep coming up, right? All right, so the first thing is these set of Winnie the Pooh, the complete collection. It's a 4-book set. They are paperback. Does come in the sleeve, though. Nice little reading for some young kids about the life of Winnie the Pooh. And that sold for $26.99 plus shipping. Okay, so books still sell on eBay. All right, moving right along. Every now and then you're in the store, you find vintage items. Now, somebody asked the other day, what makes something vintage? Well, you know, I don't want to try to get into that argument, but I will say this. To me, vintage is if something is at least 10 years old or older. Now, I know that probably is going to be like, that ain't true. Well, fine. Fine. Now, you call it what you want to call it. I particularly like to look for things that are at least 10 years old or older and are still in the package, never been open. Everybody knows that we don't use halogen bulbs in flashlights anymore, hardly. We use LEDs. But this is a Coleman rechargeable flashlight with the halogen bulb still in the pack, brand new. And it sold for $14.95 plus shipping. So you got to be on the lookout, all right, for vintage items. All right, we're back to books again. Back to books. This is a Barnes & Noble classic, Moby Dick. Classic book. Highly recommend. And if you don't have this book, if you're a book person and you don't have this book in your library, not this particular book, but Moby Dick, you need it. This book taught so many kids lessons back in the day about courage and fear and boldness and hardship and just all the character traits that go into raising quality young men and women. Classic, okay? So this particular book sold for $16.99 plus shipping. All right, every now and then you'll hear me say things like, this has been sitting in my store ever since I started. Well, I'm about a year and 6 months in, coming up on the 6-month mark, and hard to believe, by the way. And this was something we bought very early on, and I remember when I bought it, again, I started having that thought when I picked it up. We picked this up at a yard sale, and I was like, hey, this particular item will sell. It's cool, you know, and then it sat in the store for almost a year before it sold. This is a game called Thrice Dice. They're large colored dice. There's 3 of them, of course, and it's a game you play. It's got probably directions and stuff inside there. Brand new, and this sold for $10.99 plus shipping. Back to books. And you go, what? Is that the only thing you sell is books? No. It's not the only thing I sell, but I am one who is learning how to spot the books that'll sell. I do not, well, I shouldn't say I do not deal with fiction. Moby Dick's obviously fiction. What's the best way to say this? I don't deal with those fiction books that, you know, like, I don't even know what name author to use, but the fiction books that, like Jason Bourne series and Stu Griffin, I think that's another one. The guy who writes the books about fake history, I can't remember. But anyway, I don't deal with those. I tend to go for classics. I tend to go for, well, I take that back. I do collect and sell the Left Behind books. That's kind of fictitious about a, you know, story in the Bible. But anyway, what I have learned that sells is what I look for and pick up in books. Okay, this is the Star Wars Trilogy. And what's cool about this book, guys, is it has a leather binding. I mean, that's like really, really cool. You don't see that very often in books today, but this is a collector edition of all 3 episodes of the Star Wars trilogy. And this is episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6. So anyway, this particular book sold for $26.99 plus shipping. Now, you're not, you know, when it comes to books, I mean, unless they're like really, really old and collectible or something and hard to find, you're not going to make a killing on them, but you are going to obviously make more than what you pay for. Because remember now, I'm the king of thrift store, Goodwill specifically, and so I get books for $2, $1, and 10 cents. Children's books, 10 cents, paperbacks, $1, and then hardback are $2, I think. So you pay that, and then you turn around and flip it for what you flip it for, and you should be able to get pretty good return on investment there. All right, we got some Hearts dog clippers, and I believe these are, are they sized? No. Well, I used to think that these were like sized, but I guess not. But anyway, this is a set of dog clippers, nail clippers for dogs. Nail clippers for dogs. Got that right. $10.99 free shipping because it's so light. Love that first class. All right. So getting into some clothing now. All right. So as you guys know, we are located close to Liberty University. So anytime I see LU attire in good shape, I pick it up. This is a Liberty Nike Golf Polo. And it's a size extra large. I always look for larger sizes in clothing. They sell a little better. Harder to find. But anyway, that's a Nike Polo. And that went for $16.99 plus shipping. Another book. All right. We have a Pathway to Victory Daily Devotional by Robert Jeffress. This is basically just a day-by-day Actually, I don't even think it's a day by day. It's a week by week. How about that? Week by week devotional. It's got a very nice kind of fox leather feel to it on the outside. $14.99 plus shipping. Of course, all books media mail. Gotta love media mail. All right. We've got a ball cap now. We've got and if you find these guys, they're hard to find, but if you find these, you better pick them up, especially if they're in good shape. But every now and then, you can get lucky and find a Masters golf hat from an actual course, or in this case, it's just a Masters edition ball cap. And you can see the little Masters logo right there. And this sold for $15 and some shipping. Then we've got our famous scrub tops. Yes, we are still selling scrub tops. We will probably always sell scrub tops. This is I'm not even going to unfold this because it's better to show it up close. This is a Hello Kitty scrub top. I think it's a size medium, and I do buy them pre-owned, by the way. I do buy them used, and I'm sure, you figured that out by now. I just, really inspect them really closely before I do, because I don't want to buy anything and then, give it to somebody that's stained or, torn or ripped or too faded. Sometimes the too faded ones are not worth it because people are dressing in these and going to work, so they don't want to look bad, okay? So anyway, that was sold for $12.99 plus shipping. Now, the other day I was in Goodwill, and you know how when you're in Goodwill, you'll go to the racks, and when you're looking through the racks, Goodwill will bag up toys, small toys. They'll bag them up in Ziploc. Then they'll tape across the top so you can't get in them. And it's usually, little small figurines or whatever kids play with. And so anyway, the other day I was in there and I picked one up, and it was a bunch of these athletic figurines. Began to look at each one through the bag and found that one of them was very special, and probably, at the time I knew that was probably going to be something that I should get. But I went ahead and took my little trusty little knife I carry with me and sliced that bag right open and started looking at each one individually and comping each one, and found probably a good 12 to 15 of these little starting lineup figurines from pro ball, pro basketball, NBA, and pro NFL football. And guess who I found in there? Oh yeah, the man himself, Mr. Jordan. In really good shape. And every one of these have a different body shape, and the figurine is doing different things. But the cool thing is that his waist turns. Now, I don't know that it turns. Nah, I'm not going to break it because I just sold it. But it has some movement to it. But anyway, Michael Jordan, starting lineup. What's the date on that, Chris? 1988. $28.99 plus shipping. Yeah. And I've got Larry Bird. I'm going to be putting some more up on the store. Put this one up first because I knew he probably would sell first and see what kind of bites I get. I got Larry Bird. I've got some other famous NBA guys from back in the day. And then I've got some football as well. Herschel Walker and Emmitt Smith. Just some different quarterbacks and stuff like that in that lot. But I'm going to piece them out individually and try to sell them. Now, there may come a time where I take the rest of them that aren't selling too well and just kind of lot them up. But anyway, got old MJ out the door. And then last couple of items, really, really cool. If you do not dabble in the area of plush animals, you should. They can bring some good money, but you have to know your stuff, just like everything else you get to learning about. plush animals, certain plush animals, can be worth some really good money. Like this little guy. This is Brer Fox, Disney, and I do believe that Brer Fox was part of Song of the South, which, by the way, and I don't know where I learned this, somebody either local or maybe it was somebody on YouTube showed me, if you can ever find the VCR tape of the Song of the South, if I'm not mistaken, that thing's worth some money. So always be looking for that too. But anyway, this little guy in really good shape. Again, Disney, anything Disney, went for $45. Okay, that's just incredible. The little guy, found him in a little bin, paid probably 99 cents, maybe even less for him. All right. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is board games. Yes, board games still sell. Scrabble Deluxe Turntable Edition. And I'm not real sure what the size is on this. I don't ever think I've even sized one before, but very nice. Looks new on the inside. Everything's there. Box has a little bit of wear on it. But Scrabble Turntable Deluxe Edition, $49.99 plus shipping. So that gives me one of those, well, the Brer Fox and the Scrabble, that gives me two sales. See, that if I had a bad day coming up, those two sales would average out and then help me on the bad day. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's going to be doing it for what's sold right now. I want to conclude the video by saying that we are getting ready to experience some more bad weather. Oh, great! I don't know what to say. You don't want ice. That's all I can say. You don't want ice. You want snow, maybe. You can handle rain. You can handle wind, but you don't want ice. Ice cripples everything. So there's supposed to be another major winter storm of snow and ice coming. And I just have my fingers crossed and I'm hoping and praying that we don't lose power again. It's no fun losing power, as you probably have lost power before and know. I remember back in 93, I think it was, I lived in Tennessee at the time when that big major blizzard came through. We got like 2 feet of snow and the wind was blowing like 100 miles an hour. It was crazy. But I remember we were dead in the water. I lived up on a mountain in Tennessee and we were dead in the water for almost 2 weeks with no electricity. It was crazy. We had a wood stove and we were burning wood. We were, people didn't go to hotels back then. People didn't even know about that probably. I mean, maybe you could have, but we couldn't have afforded 2 weeks at a motel or a hotel anyway. But anyway, you just learned how to get through it. You slept around the wood stove basically at night and you heated your water up on the stove. So it's just one of those things you get by somehow. I'm concluding, though, because I feel like I'm just yakking for no reason. You don't want to do that on YouTube, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. I have not said that in a while. We got to 500 subscribers, and then it just kind of fizzled out, and I don't know where we're at now. But I just want to say thank you. I don't even know who you are. Most of you, I don't know who you are that watch my channel. The only ones I really know of are the ones that comment, maybe. But I just want to say thank you. I mean, why do you listen to me, But I understand you enjoy the seeing what's sold and all and learning about it. But anyway, just want to say thanks for watching. This is Patriot Picker. I'm signing out, and we'll catch you guys again. That's right, on the flip side.